everyone, it's Karen with Yes Please PaperCrafts, and today I'm making a card for a friend. My friend Judy has been wanting me to show her how to color with alcohol markers or just any kind of color. I guess that she likes the way I color, and I'm not an expert at it, but as part of her birthday present, I thought I would do a video showing her how I'm going to color these flowers for her birthday card. And so I got these this stamp set. It's a Prima stamp set, and it's called Bloom, and it's from Jamie Dougherty. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And the name of it is Floral, and it's this really pretty floral. And look how large these stamps are. That's like kind of crazy. And so I had this idea a long time ago when I first got this stamp set. I actually got it in a grab bag from Peachy Cheap, and it was my favorite thing that was in that grab bag. And I thought when I saw it, I was like, that would make an awesome card, or maybe I might even try it on the scrapbook page. But I'm going to be using my Copic markers, and I have these Copic markers that I have in this. These are like utensil bins or buckets. They're like metal, and they've got like a teal inside in the handle. And I usually store them on my bookshelf like this, and then whenever I want to use them, I just carry them over to my workspace. And so I'm going to be using my Copic markers. But this is really, you could do this with any kind of alcohol markers. It doesn't have to be Copic. I think Judy has the, what's that other one called? Shoot, my mind went blank. It's the, oh, Spectrum Noir. She has those alcohol markers. Okay. And so, I am going to be using this white cardstock, and this is from Michael's. It's the Recollections 110-pound cardstock. I'm not going to be doing a card base. I'm going to be doing a card front, because when you use alcohol markers, it's probably going to bleed through unless you have a special paper. So you can see here I was kind of playing around with the stamp, and I colored this flower, and I thought maybe I would do yellow, but I changed my mind. But you can see that it bleeds through to the back. I'm going to be using these really pretty blue colors, and I love blue greens, and so I thought I would do a card for her with these blue flowers. Okay, and my plan is I'm going to do a card that's 5 by 7 because I want to stamp this large flower onto the card panel, and then I'm going to stamp a couple of these and then cut them out and kind of pop them up on the card. And so that it's going to be a simple card. I'm just going to really focus on coloring the flowers, and I'm hoping that she's going to like it and she's going to like this video. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up, and I'll do a voiceover later. And yeah, I can't scrap and talk at the same time, and I can't make a card and talk at the same time. So all right, let's get started. So I wanted to start off by saying that I lost some of the footage for this video, so I was super disappointed, but I guess what happened was my phone storage filled up, and I ran out of space, and so it just stopped recording. So that's the first time that's ever happened to me. Yeah, so I guess now I need to make sure before I start filming that I have space on my phone. What I'm doing here is I'm going to start off by stamping this large flower, and I'm using the We Are Memory Keepers stamping press. And I was I wanted to stamp this off the paper, and I don't know why I thought to do it this way, but I cut the paper down to 5 by 7, or a little bit smaller than 5 by 7, because I'm going to mount this card panel onto a card base. And so I wanted the flower to kind of go off the card front. And I did this, and I got ink on the stamping platform, and then I also, my first attempt did not go very well because I stamped it once and then I stamped it again. And I don't know if a lot of people are aware, but when you press down too hard, you get like, it can make your image look really fuzzy and blurry, and that's kind of what I did. So, yeah, sometimes I have to kind of like, I try to do it and it's like not stamping all the way, and so then I'm pressing really hard and then I mess it up because I'm just like smishing it. I don't know if y'all ever do that, but I'm not too good at stamping actually. I kind of have trouble with it, and I haven't done it in a while because I've been focusing on scrapbooking, and for the last probably 2 years I've been really scrapbooking way more than I've been making cards. And that's kind of different for me because I was primarily a card maker for probably 10 or 15 years. I mean, that's all I did. I very rarely scrapbooked. And so now it's the other way around. I do scrapbooking all the time and I very rarely make cards. But I'm making this card for my friend Judy for her birthday. And she has been asking me to show her how I color in a video. And so that's what I'm going to do here in this video. So first what I'm going to do is I'm taking three different colors and I have these three really pretty blue-green colors, and I'm going to start out with my lightest color and I'm going to just color like a section of this flower. One of the things I find when working with alcohol markers is you kind of need to work in small sections because if you try to do a really large section, it's going to dry, and then when you go to blend your colors, it's not going to blend very well. So you want to kind of stick to working with a small section. So here I'm showing you what colors I'm using, and those are the three colors. And I like to use like the light color, and then I will go to the medium color. And one of the things I decided was I wanted the kind of like the light source to be in the middle to make this kind of look like it's curving, the petal is curving. So I'm going to be putting the color down, kind of flicking it from the top and from the bottom. Now, I'm not an expert in coloring. I did take a class with online card classes a couple years ago. I think it's probably been about maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Might have been longer. I don't know. Yeah, it's been a long time since I took that class. But if you're a card maker and you like Copic markers, that class is awesome. And I will put a link in the description below to that class. And a lot of what I learned by taking that online class. And I think it's a really good class if you really want to learn how to use Copic markers. And I think it would probably work for any markers, but that particular class is designed specifically for Copic. But I find that most of the alcohol markers work the same way. I think the biggest advantage of Copics is that they're refillable, that they have a really nice brush tip, and that they blend really well when you're working with them. So I'm just going back over, and what I usually do is I start with the lightest color, then I do the medium color, then I go back with the light color and kind of blend those two out, and then I will go in with my darkest color and then go back. I just keep going back and forth and just kind of blending the three colors together, and that's kind of how I do it. So I'm just going through and starting with the next petal. And I got a phone call there. So now my phone's going to sit right there. And yeah, so I'm just trying to do this coloring. Now, I wanted to say too that I did color this entire flower on film. And then I lost the rest of the footage. So I don't have any footage of making the card itself. But I just want to tell you the card was very, very simple. I just took a piece of that Recollections 110-pound cardstock. I cut it down to a 10 by 7 and then scored it and then folded it in half. And then I just mounted this panel that I made onto that card base. And I also colored a couple of the flowers. Now I do have pictures and a little bit of a video clip of after I finished the card because that's when I realized that my video footage was, you know, it wasn't there because it had stopped recording. I didn't really know at that point how much I was missing from the video. But I did want to go ahead and take pictures of the card because I was going to be giving it to Judy, and so I did do that. So I do have pictures at the end here if you want to stick around that show the finished card. And what I actually did was I popped up the two, well, I cut the two little flowers out, and then I popped them up onto some foam tape and mounted them onto the front of the card, and then I added some pearls. So I thought it came out really pretty. It was a very simple card to make, and I think I was just really trying to focus just on the coloring itself. So I think the trick with using alcohol markers and with blending is to just keep going back and forth between the different colors. I think using either two markers, you can do pretty good blending. Using three is better if you have three colors that you have that you would like to work with. And yeah, I think it's a lot of fun using Copic markers. One of the other things I was going to say is I was really struggling with this marker right here because it was a little dry, and I've had my Copic markers for probably about 8 years, and I have only two that I have that one of them, I think I had a problem with it. Maybe the cap wasn't on and it dried up completely and had to be replaced. And then this is the second marker that I have that is kind of getting dry. So I'm going to have to probably get some a refill for that. And it's one of my favorite colors, so it doesn't surprise me that that one is running out of ink. These Copic markers, they last for a long, long time, and then you can actually refill them, which is one of the reasons why the prices on Copic markers are higher. I guess there's a couple of things. One is the brush nib on it is amazing, and you can replace the nibs. So it can, the marker itself can be, you know, you can actually replace the nibs, you can replace the ink, and so it's an investment because you're getting a marker that you're going to be able to use for a really, really long time. So here I am just finishing up the coloring, and I thought it came out really cool. And you know, I used kind of a technique from the online card classes where you color hair. And so it's just the way that this flower is shaped, it kind of almost looks like hair. And I kind of used a similar technique that they used in when we were taught how to color hair. And it's kind of like flicking up from the edge and with the Copic marker and into, you know, an area that's lighter. So it kind of gives the flower, makes the flower look curved. So here's my finished card. And I also added a very simple sentiment that says birthday wishes. And I think it turned out really pretty. So I think she really liked it. And I'm hoping she likes this video. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.